Our cameras were in court today when a judge ruled that 4 people arrested at a northern New Mexico compound would be released tomorrow with court supervision.
The suspects were arrested during a raid last week. Investigators found 11 children living in filth and found the remains of what's believed to be the son of Suraj Wahaj, one of the men arrested. Wahaj is accused of kidnapping his son from Georgia in December. He'll be held because he's wanted out of Georgia.
In the hours of that testimony today, disturbing new allegations came to light.
That includes testimony from an FBI investigator who said he believes the missing 3-year-old from Georgia died during a religious ritual on the compound. News 13's Brittany Bade breaks down what happened in the hearing.
Dean and Jessica, the judge said the prosecution threw out a lot of shocking claims, but didn't have enough evidence to back them up. Like the testimony that the toddler Abdul was subject to exorcisms because he was disabled and suffered from seizures. Smiles and hugs in court today as Judge Sarah C. Backus ruled all 5 adults charged with child abuse do not have to stay in jail until trial.
If you have lived in northern New Mexico for any period of time, you are aware that many people here live in unconventional ways.
The judge referring to this filthy compound in northern Taos County, where 11 starving children and the body of a small boy were found last week. Today in court, an FBI investigator testified that body belongs to 3-year-old Abdul, whose father, Suraj Wahaj, and his Islamic wife, Janie LaVille, believed the boy was possessed.
The rituals were to expel demons.
Special Agent Travis Taylor said adults and children were involved in the rituals and said they happened often until one February day.
During this ritual, Abdul passed out and Suraj placed his hand on his chest and could not feel a heartbeat.
Everyone at the compound prayed to Abdul's body, and the children were told that Abdul would be resurrected and come back as Jesus.
As Jesus, LaVille said Abdul would tell them which, quote, corrupt institutions to get rid of.
These institutions included teachers, military, law enforcement.
The defense argued there is no proof of this, and that owning an arsenal of high-powered weapons like the ones found on the compound and teaching kids to use them isn't illegal.
There's certainly no prohibition against training a 15 or a 13-year-old how to use a firearm, right? There's certainly no prohibition against that, correct?
None to my knowledge.
Taos County Sheriff Jerry Hogriff and his deputies found the body of a little boy, nearly 100 feet back in an underground tunnel wrapped in a sheet and plastic.
We have 1 dead child already under the care of these individuals.
The state argued all 5 defendants are a danger to the entire community, but the judge didn't agree. The judge set a $20,000 signature bond for each of them, meaning they do not have to pay anything unless they violate their conditions of release. The adults will have to wear ankle monitors and not leave the county. Medical investigators have still not positively identified the body of the little boy. Jess.
All right, thank you, Brittany. After court, the suspects' attorneys told us their clients are being painted as militants because they are black and Muslim.
The NRA right now is telling us that guns are a good thing and that we should be training our teenagers to go ahead and use them. But now that we have someone who's actually doing that and they're not white and they're not Christian, we think that there's some nefarious plan.
We live in a country of religious freedom, and if these people were white and Christian, nobody would bat an eye at the idea of faith healing.
Authorities testified during the hearing about the tires and wooden pallets that made up the compound. Defense attorneys argue the group has just lived an alternative lifestyle, very different from everyone else. They are allowed supervised visits with the children who are in CYFD custody. Stay with News 13 for the latest on this case as it moves through the court. You'll find updates on air and online on our KRQE app.